Hello, I'm Ross Greathouse. I represent the Nebraska Trails Council, and I've been involved in helping build trails in Nebraska for 29 years. We started building trails in 1983 when the Rock Island got abandoned between Omaha and Lincoln, and we've been working on it ever since. At that point in time, we had 3.5 miles of rail trail in Nebraska. It was a little trail out of Fort Kearny. Today we have 311 miles of rail trail outside the cities in Nebraska. We own another 190 miles that is yet to be developed. Game and Parks has done a wonderful job with the Cowboy Trail. I've testified before Deb Fischer several times in regard to trails and Nebraska. I'm a farm kid from Banner County. Those guys in the Sandhills live in eastern Nebraska, and I grew up about 10 miles from Wyoming on a little dirt ranch. Had a few cows and one irrigation well, and we scratched in the dirt a lot. And I have a lot of admiration for these guys that just followed me. I think it's kind of interesting, though. They were talking about Deb ignoring or fighting for the eminent domain of the pipelines, when my experience with her is exactly the opposite. She was trying to diminish the rights of NRDs in the state of Nebraska. All public entities in Nebraska have the right of eminent domain. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a road, a railroad, a school, or a park, or anything. Well, she wanted to limit the ability of the NRDs to use eminent domain. That happened in 1909 or in 2009 at a hearing in Weeping Water, and she was fighting to restrict NRDs from the use of eminent domain. Okay, up until that time, I think the NRDs are about 30 years old now. They established about 30 years ago. It had been used 4 times in the history of the 23 NRDs in the state of Nebraska. So should you change a law that's been used 4 times? All of those people are elected like school boards. They don't get paid. The NRDs are great entities. They're a super benefit. It's a great way to run the natural resources of this state. You got a local board. There are 23 different districts, and they do a great job. Deb Fischer is no friend of the NRDs in the state of Nebraska. She's no friend of trails. Trails are, they're parks. They're also ways to get to work. Here in the city of Lincoln, we have 125 miles of trails, and they estimate that some 5% of the students get to the campus using the trails. Now, that's not true out in the country. When we go out to the country, we go out there because we love to see it. When you go to Valentine and you go across the bridge over the Niobrara, that's something. That is just amazing. It's the highest bridge in Nebraska, and it's an absolute phenomenal thing. We need to do a better job of promoting that. Game and Parks has done a great job of building it, but we need to do a lot better job of promoting that thing. And so Deb Fischer is not, I'm trying to think of a way that she's going to help Nebraska if she goes to Washington. Versus Bob Kerrey, you got to be kidding me. That's just, there is no comparison. Bob Kerrey has always been a great friend of Nebraska, and we need to all support him.